Hello gals and ghouls, and welcome to the Horrorfest.
Fear Street Part 2, 1978.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yes.
I was 8 years old in 1978. You were 4. So I was in, grade 2, Sabi, South Africa.
And I was crying to go to school. What an idiot.
Until you got there, you go, no, I'm going.
I thought the first
Or did you like it?
No, I thought the first day I went to school, I thought, okay, well, that's it. This is
done.
school, it's done.
No, every day for the next 12 years.
And I'm still studying.
For the next 12 years. Yeah, you study freak, you. Right, this was written, directed by Leigh Janiak. Same did the first one and the third one, based on the R.L. Stine books, Fear Street. He sold millions upon millions upon millions of these books.
Yes, the Stephen King for teens.
Yeah. The second one, it was a good follow-up.
It really linked. If you watch the first one and you watch the second one, it's a brilliant. It links the two eras.
Yeah.
Beautifully.
So you still have the teen kids now escaping the killer, and something happened to one of them. Don't want to give away too much stuff, but they ended up tracking down a girl. It's played by Gillian Jacobs.
Yes.
They tracked her down because apparently she survived one of these murders, and that might be the key for them to try and stop this.
Defeat this story.
And then she ends up telling them the story about what happened in summer camp in 1978.
Camp Nightwing.
Yeah, so you full on into your Camp Crystal Lake Friday the 13th scenario.
Absolutely. It even looks like the same place.
You know, you've got your douchebag counselors, you've got the cool guy and the nice guy.
And you've got your bitchy girls.
The bullies, you've got the nerds, the young kids. It's, people smoking joints, kids having sex or wanting or trying to.
Yes.
So it's got all of that stuff. And then you've got your killers that come and
I'm sure very purposefully they made it look exactly like those old slasher films.
It is undeniable, which is what they're sort of bargaining on, because, if besides introducing new people to this, if you say you should be at least 16, 18 watching this, because
absolutely,
it is violent.
It's violent.
There's some, what's a hardcore sex scene, but
quite explicit,
an adult sex scene.
Yes.
Although it's teens involved. Gory.
Yeah.
Bloody, so it's not for kids.
And it's also, it doesn't, like the first one, it really doesn't pull any punches. It gets right down to it. It's gory from start to finish. But I I related more to this one. While I enjoyed 1994 Fear Street, I really enjoyed this one because it's more sort of my era of...
Yeah. And they, it's purposefully, it's... if you're going to make this kind of movie, you cannot not bring in that era. It's just so iconically slasher.
That's right, and everything from the look of the kids, the outfits, and I must say that's one thing that I picked up from this film. Stylistically, it was excellent. Mm-hmm. It really felt and looked like the 70s.
Yeah, and at this camp, you've got your, as we mentioned in the first review, you have your two towns. You've got your, Shady Side and Sunnyvale.
Shady
Side and Sunnyvale.
Yeah.
Sunnyvalers are
kind Sunnyvale, I'm not sure.
Sunnyvale.
Sunnyvale, yeah.
They look down on the Shady Siders, and it's the same in the camp. You've got your little cliques and
which
factions.
also sort of just emphasizes the fact that this sort of rivalry between the two towns has been coming on a long way.
So you have your scenario of your kids trying to have fun in summer camp, and then one of those girls get bullied by the snobs, and is it Sadie Sink?
Sadie Sink, who is also the beautiful red-headed girl in Stranger Things, and she plays the character of Ziggy. This really sort of it's like a tomboyish type of girl.
Yeah, she's like independent and strong kind of a thing.
Yes.
Although she gets bullied by these assholes.
Yeah.
and some characters that are now adult. Besides her, some other characters that are now adults in 1994.
Yes, the sheriff
also
Nick
introduced to them.
Good, who we meet in 1994. He's a camp counselor. He's obviously like a high school kid.
Yeah.
Camp counselor at this camp. And also we can probably say that there is sort of like a kind of a romantic thing between him and Ziggy.
One of the summer camp activities is color wars. They have t-shirts, you have to capture another guy and keep them there.
And obviously the colors are Shady Side blue
Yeah.
and Sunnyvale red t-shirts.
But then, as we mentioned in the 1994 review, this supernatural element of the witch, the cursed town,
yes.
and the curse that sort of possesses
And
people.
the second one is very good in terms of it really fleshes out that whole plot further. So you
Yeah.
get a much sort of deeper...
And it introduces you to the axe killer that pops up in 1994.
In the first one, so you understand where the axe killer comes from, because he's now the killer in the camp.
Yeah.
And also interesting locations, if I can put it that way. You've got your camp, and then you've got this other location that I'm not
Yeah.
going to say too much about, which made it very interesting.
Which they discover that kind of tells more on just the whole origin of this curse.
And takes it back more to sort of the idea of witchcraft and the supernatural.
Yeah. And some of the other killer characters from 1994.
Also shows their face again.
Yeah, so it's this recurring thing that you can't seem to escape. One thing that's a bit, it's like a horror movie where people don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden they get into someone's basement and there's everything laid out on the wall with strings and photos and crap. In this, it's a form of, I think it's the nurse.
That's right.
Something happens, what's that book? There's a book, and there's pretty much everything you need to know.
Yeah, like the drawings and the map and this and that.
It's a bit of a cheap cop-out, just explaining stuff.
Again, it's necessary though.
Yeah,
it
otherwise
is
it'll take another
necessary.
half hour to try and
Yes, it
figure
has
stuff
to.
out.
You have to speed the story.
that's just
but
me.
it's funny. It is
Yeah.
funny. Yes.
And it leads to some
And
hectic
also,
scenes, heads getting split open with axes,
Yes, and-
ankles snapping off.
it's
It's
cockroaches.
yeah.
There was cockroaches.
Sonya's favorite,
my
cockroaches.
Favorite. It really scared me in more than one way.
It surprised me some of the hectic bits in this.
Again, similar
It's
to
not,
the
yeah,
first one.
expecting it to be a teeny bopper
No, it's not
Kids.
bubblegum.
kids Halloween show. It's
No,
not.
not at all. And again, the soundtrack, excellent.
And the score, Marco Beltrami did it again, but this time with Brandon Roberts. I must actually go listen to it again and see just how much it differs to the 1994 one. So I'm assuming they would have given it a bit more of a Friday the 13th type vibe.
Yeah.
But we'll have to go check on that. But the general, the songs picked for this period, obviously.
It went
It's
from
from that
it went from sort of Joan Jett sort of punky vibe to disco. Again, they sort of touched on all the genres, which was
the
great.
Runaways, Cherry Bomb.
Yes.
They used that.
Yeah.
They used, but a cool transition was between from the 1994 when she tells the story
That's right.
that happened in 1978.
78.
They've got the Nirvana version of The Man Who Sold the World, the acoustic David Bowie unplugged cover, and then later on they used the original in 1978.
Yeah.
So it was a very cool way to combine
Clever.
those songs.
There's some that you can see that there's thought was put into it. It's not just sort of slapped together.
Yeah, and I mean they've got like Neil Diamond song.
Yeah.
They've got kind of what's that slow ride Foghat song.
The only thing that
Kansas.
the only thing missing was ABBA.
Yeah, but it's more of a rock like
It's more, yes.
Blue Oyster Cult.
That's
don't,
right.
Don't Fear the Reaper.
Don't Fear the Reaper.
It's got more kind of rock songs, but then also kind of soul stuff. Thelma Houston.
Very cool. Really
But
enjoyed it.
The Velvet Underground, which I always thought, I never knew that. I mean, I know Velvet Underground, but I'm not a huge fan or
I just know,
expert.
like the
I never knew that Sweet Jane was actually there
Unreal.
until this movie.
Yes, no, me
so
too.
you get educated constantly,
Me too, yes.
and we have quite a music knowledge.
Yes, and I like the song. I also know
Yeah.
the song from
Natural Born
Natural
Killers.
Born Killers. Yes.
Is it Cowboy Junkies that did
Yes,
that?
that's right.
So I've known it from there, and it was a nice surprise that shit, it's actually Velvet Underground.
And it was it sounded great. Yes.
Because I was there and I thought, hang on,
It sounds familiar.
hey, they stole the riff.
Meanwhile, it's the same song.
Yeah.
So we even got like a little bit of an education, which is
Yeah.
great. All in all, I really enjoyed. This one made me look forward to the next installment.
1666,
Yes.
part 3, which now jumps back to the origin. They're backtracking this as opposed to, it would have been completely different if it started 1666.
Yeah, and it would have
and
been
then
silly.
everything's explained. So it's nice that everything the layers get
Yeah,
peeled
it's like
off.
peeling back the layers, and it's nice. It's just the right amount of information to sort of keep the suspense there, and you're still wondering how are they going to do that, and why did that happen. You've sort of got a half-baked idea of what's maybe.
Yeah, you don't want to give away too much.
No.
It's also, people also like to guess and try and figure things out for themselves as they watch a movie. Sometimes they give away everything. Halloween Kills trailer, they just show too much.
No, I don't watch trailers. It's not a good idea to watch trailers.
But I was so disappointed. Halloween Kills, it was just, they showed too much. But I think some of it was sort of deliberate with kind of these Halloween 3 homages with the pumpkin mask, the witch mask, and the skeleton mask. We were actually talking about it earlier with The Killer in 1994, part 1. It was there hasn't really been a slasher with a skull, skeleton outfit skull mask. You've got Freddy's burnt, that's his mask. Hockey mask for Jason. You've got the Scream ghost face mask, and obviously Michael Myers in his man? Why can't I remember?
William Shatner's face.
Oh, I didn't remember William Shatner's name, man.
Yeah.
So it was actually, we thought, it's like lame. But then
it's not. In hindsight,
there hasn't
it's
actually
cool.
been a slasher with a skull mask.
Again, showing that they thought about it. It's not just
There's also only just that much you can do.
Exactly.
But a skull mask. But then we thought about, hang on, the skull and the pumpkin and the witch mask was in Halloween 3, but it wasn't worn by a killer. So that doesn't count.
Yes.
Anyway, circle back again.
I think just totally the movie can even just stand on its own. It is that good.
Yeah, it's it can be individual movies with cliffhangers.
Yes. Yeah.
It was,
And as I said, stylistically, it's done brilliantly, because you do feel.
it could have easily been sort of cheapened rip-offs.
And it's not.
But that's why I'm interested. Like, if anyone has read these books, tell us in the comments
please do.
how much they actually kept, how much they changed, how much they intensified. Because I'm interested to know how they pulled that together.
Yeah, as I say, I remember from years ago reading one or two of the little books and thinking, no, this is a waste of my time because it's bubblegum and I've read Stephen King, so I can't sort of revert
you
now
can't
to
backtrack
this.
now.
No. So that was my sense at the time when I read the books.
Okay.
And so I don't think that the books were that hardcore.
So do you think maybe they made this for people who read this
Who's now grown?
in the 90s?
Yes, yeah.
They're now grown up. Now they intensify it for them?
I read it in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely.
Those
could be.
the Goosebumps one. I'm not sure when it was. I know the Fear Street one sort of started in '89.
Yes, that would have been the ones that I.
So then it would have really picked up in the 90s.
Yes. So maybe that you've read the book as a teen and now you sort of watching the movie as an adult. It does make sense to then make it more.
For someone with an adult stomach or a
someone that's definitely like a fan of the genre for sure. You have to be a fan of the genre because it's so. It is so reflecting on the past type of movies.
Maybe also some of these things are sort of suggested in the books, whereas now it actually gets shown.
Shown, yeah. Very likely. But tell us if you've read the books.
Yes, please.
We're very interested to find out.
Score time.
Yes.
I will be giving this one a 7.
I'm also giving it a 7.
Yay, average 7. Don't need to
Yes.
calculate.
No.
Cool. Yeah, it was enjoyable. A very good follow-up.
Loved it.
So now it's this one ends sending you into how will it end up in 1666, taking you to the origin of this whole witch situation.
Yes.
And I'm interested to see how they're going to tie this
Yes.
together with the now and
And
the then.
I'm very interested to see, like we've seen now a little bit of not the trailer, but sort of the little bit that they show
Epilogue,
you.
prologue.
Yeah. Now I'm very keen to see, again, stylistically, if they're going to sort of keep that, not that I have any sense of 1666, but so that it doesn't seem too costumey
It will probably
and too...
be like the movie The Witch,
Yes.
you know, sort of very, I mean, obviously it has to be, it's very primitive,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
rural.
I think this is going to be
kind of
the...
pre-Salem witch hunt
Yes,
type era.
and this is going to be sort of the decider for me if the trilogy is good.
They need to, so they're wrapping this up kind of with the beginning.
And they're making it hard for themselves because the other two are sort of not easy, but it's...
well, unless R.L. Stine's book sorted it out for them.
Maybe.
I don't know. With dozens of these books, like I said, I don't know if they pulled different elements together or if it's nicely spelled out.
Yeah. It would be... I'm interested, very interested to see the third one.
Well,
which we will, when you see us again, we'll probably be reviewing.
Next one coming up. Cheers, have fun.
Cheers.